Patience can be the difference between success and failure. When I look back on the various projects I've started, and for the most part stopped due to not seeing results quickly enough, some of those could have been successful had I simply given them more time. I have a couple of Etsy shops where I sell digital assets like clip art and vector files for crafting. I'd have a good sprint and create a few products, then lose steam and stop creating, mostly because of the doubt that the time I was spending was really worth it. A month or two would go by, and all of a sudden, I'd start getting sales. I've been getting pretty regular sales for a few years for this small selection of files I added to an Etsy store. It might only be £20 to £40 per month that they make, but I've done zero extra work since I originally created them, and I still get paid for that work to this day. The missing ingredient was time. Imagine if I'd continued to develop that store, it could be bringing in a lot more by now. When I look at my freelance business RoboTune, I started small, picking up $40 to $60 jobs on Upwork just to start building some positive reviews. This has led me to some of my best clients, some that I still work with through Upwork and some that have referred me to new clients outside of Upwork. This, plus a couple of enquiries I've received through my website, is allowing me to pay the bills and work for myself. The initial results were quick, but it's taken a long time to build a little reputation and establish trust with my clients. But if I'd thrown in the towel when progress was slow, I would have missed some great opportunities. Recently, I wrote about not having a plan for the future. I'll start creating that plan soon. I need to factor in patience. When things don't feel like they're progressing, I need to remind myself to wait. It could be the difference between failure and success. Action point: when you're not seeing results fast enough, be patient. Welcome to Ronin. My name's Rob. I give actionable ideas for living an intentional life, and essentially what I do is I'll write my journal almost every day and read it out on camera and then expand on any ideas that arise from the journal post. So yeah, today is about patience. And like I said, I'm a bit of a serial starter. I'll start projects and then lose steam after a while. They get difficult and I don't see any progress, and sometimes it can be difficult just to maintain the motivation to see it through. And yet the only missing ingredient for some of these projects being successful was time. So this is something that I really need to factor in when I start a project. Is I'm going to be, whichever project I choose to do, I need to be in it for a long duration, not just, a month or two. Ideally, give it a year or two. And then the trick will be, how do I maintain motivation while doing the project over that longer period of time? That was this morning's journal post. It is the 20th of October, 2025. I've got a couple of updates, things that I've spoken about in the past few videos. I've started getting stuff done. It's Monday, so we've just had the weekend. I started sorting my loft out, organising things. I did some shed insulation now that it's starting to get colder. It's been on my to-do list for a little while, so I did some of that. I cut the grass, which desperately needed cutting. And I guess the next step, or the next steps, I need to create this plan for the future that I spoke about the other day. And I feel like the next step is actually to get an inbox, a physical inbox, where I write down everything that I need to get done, all the little jobs that have been sitting in the back of my mind. I could put them on little post-it notes, pop them into a physical inbox, and then organize that inbox by the type of job, by how long it's going to take, by location. If there's a bunch of jobs where I need to buy some stuff, create a shopping list and go and do all of that at once. And these are all techniques from David Allen's Getting Things Done, which I read years ago. And I've not actually looked at the method for a few years, but it's a good method when you can remember it. You talked about, doing things by location and then organizing the individual to-dos into projects. And so it's a really good system. So I need to get back into doing that. That will be the next step, is offloading all of my to-dos into an inbox. And then the step after that would be to start organizing those to-dos. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And if things don't seem like they're progressing, maybe just wait and have a little bit more patience. It could be the difference between success and failure. I'll catch you in the next video.